Coming on next is the Twintiquin Antiques Roadshow with your host, Drake Snide, right after this.
Hey, this is Drake Snide with
Drake Snide.
Next Door Radio and the Twintiquin Antique Roadshow. Today's show is brought to you by the Antique Orphanage out of Cedar Bluff, Virginia. Antique Orphanage, dealing with only 100% original antiques and collectibles.
Also, the Antique Orphanage is always looking to buy antiques, collectibles, and oddities.
Antique Orphanage, a wide range of A to Z. Be sure to check out the Antique Orphanage on Facebook today. And always remember, every piece deserves a good home.
What's going on, guys? Drake Snide here with Twintiquin Antiques Roadshow. I want to give a shout out to New Generation Antiques out of Mount Victory, Ohio. He sells on Facebook, American Pickers 24/7. Travels and shows all over the country. Now go visit New Generation Antiques today and tell them Twintiquin sent you.
What's going on, guys? Drake Snide here with Twintiquin Antique Roadshow right here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com. And today we have a special treat. We got Ryan Phillips with New Generation Antiques, and we have Matt Smith with Red Beard Relics on the phone line with us today. What's going on, guys?
What's happening, Drake?
How are you? How's your day going so far?
Living the dream.
Nice. Matt, you sound like you're on the road, brother.
I am on the road. I'm on my way back. I just had to fill up some antique mall inventory and bought a couple things, headed back home now.
Nice. Now, Ryan, you just got back from Extravaganza, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Springfield Extravaganza in Springfield, Ohio. We were down there, and from what I heard is like record-breaking crowd, record-breaking attendance. It's already one of the top 10 shows in the country. So like a little over 2,000 vendors, and that's twice a year. It's like a spring and fall type thing. But the people were out. They were out buying. They were out selling. It was an awesome show. So we really had a good time.
Nice. Now, is it the Springfield Extravaganza? Is it a big show every single year? Or is this just because COVID kind of hit us last year and it wasn't so big? And today they just this weekend they were like, oh my God, let's go, let's get it.
It's a little of both. It's always a great show. It's always really good. Last year they kind of cut the attendance for the fall event. I think it's like half capacity, but this time it was full bore, full go, and the crowds came out, the sellers came out, and everybody had a great time. The show put on one heck of a good time. There was no incidents. They had it to a T. Everybody had a blast. So,
nice.
So it went really good.
So I don't know if you wanted me to bring this up or not, but I'm going to. I'll apologize later. So you brought a truck and trailer, and you made it all the way to. You're not that far from that event, though, are you?
My shop is actually like an hour and 10 minutes from the Extravaganza to my front door in Mount Victory. It's like an hour and 10 minutes.
Nice. So you actually drove a truck and trailer full of stuff, and then you sold out and decided, hey, let's go grab another trailer since we're so close.
We actually, day one, took 3 trucks and 2 trailers. Day one. And we sold so much, we dropped a trailer and our truck, and we brought a truck and trailer home, reloaded it, and took a truck and trailer. So we ended up with 3 trailer loads and 5 truck loads for the week.
That's crazy. And whoever said that antiques is dying is slowly lost their mind. It is unbelievable what this stuff is happening right now. Huge shout out to you because it sounded like an amazing event.
And they come from all over the country. That's the nice thing is so many friends we see on the road and everything. People make the drive when you have a show that's worth that and that quality and that much fun. People will make the drive, so it's pretty awesome.
Man, I would love to be Twintiquin and be able to set up there in September, but I have a child due that month, and there's no way. So
you could have a baby born at the Springfield Extravaganza.
They have hospitals in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Brittany, I hope you're listening. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Cool. So, Matt, what you got going on, brother? What you got going on today?
Nothing, man. I had to. I've got a sports card in the antique booth up in Champaign, Illinois, at Captain Jack's Treasures. It's actually Savoy, Illinois. So I had to go up there and pick up a couple checks and kind of reorganize and add some new stuff in. And then I bought a couple things while I was there. And I'm about 2 minutes from home. Got to get unloaded and ready for basketball tonight.
Nice. Yeah, that starts around 4:30 your time, right?
Yeah. I got practice starts at 5, but we got to get to the gym about 4:30 to get everything ready to get these girls girls going. So
nice. I know Trey said that he would love to take you on one-on-one on basketball.
I'm down whenever.
Oh man.
So that's the one sports activity I'm confident.
Yep, that's all. I don't have.
And then
that
we
at all
play
anymore.
then we're double or nothing for pool afterwards, right?
Yeah, you lost me there, brother.
Adam, yeah, I'm about as good at pool as I am at cornhole. And you guys both seen how good I was at cornhole at Dixie.
You're getting so much better though, bro. Oh, that's awesome. So what kind of so y'all do this full time, but what kind of events y'all got coming up here in the next few weeks?
Matt, you go right ahead.
I'm going, my next show, I'm going to Alabama, Candlelight. Robbie McDowell's having a show. I can't ever remember the name of the town in Alabama. But he's got a shop there, and he has a big old field behind his shop, and they set up a little flea bar or a little sign show. And I went last year for the first time, and it was a really good time. So I'm going up there. I believe it's June 11th and 12th, something in that arena, 10th, 11th, something around there. So I'll be going to that. And then I'll be going to CTO the end of June there in Columbus, right, Ryan?
Yes, Columbus, Ohio, right behind Sirens. So, yep, back in, I forget which hotel it is, but yes, that's my next show actually also is CTO in Columbus. That's always a really fun show about like Iowa gas, and it's always a good time. It's like what's the best way to describe it, Matt? Like a 24-hour for 2 or 3 days. Like the show never stops.
It's just like a sign marathon.
Yes.
Nice.
It's just over and over. It's just a big, sign party basically. You do all your day, you have your public and you do all your day deals, but then at night everybody's set up in rooms and just hanging out together and having a good time, swapping and trading and coin flipping and all kinds of fun stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it never stops. At the place out there, it's like 24 hours a day for like 3 days or 4 days, or basically they go outside all day, and then come evening, everybody kind of puts everything away and ends up inside. And they set up and go room to room all evening and all night. So it's nothing for someone to stagger into your room at 3 a.m. and buy a couple signs or right. Or whatever. So.
Dang, and what's the dates on those?
Ryan, do you have the dates?
I don't. Yeah, I'm not real sure. We've got a month or so. It's like right at the end of June. Let me see if I can pull up my calendar real quick. Can you guys still hear me?
Oh yeah,
we got you. Yep, we got you, man.
Clear, sir.
Yes, it would be I want to say it's the 25th, 26th, 24th, 25th, 26th, something in that arena of June. There in Columbus.
Nice. That's awesome.
So, and that's a fun show. It's just like it's kind of like Iowa Gas in August. It's just a fun time. It's like Dixie. Obviously Dixie's the best show around as far as just all in one type experience. But those hotel shows are really, really fun. Just because like it's one of those, like Dixie, you can only stay out on the property so late. Obviously it gets dark and then you got to pull out flashlights and such. But I mean, the other shows, you're just literally just nonstop. All right. Hey, it's 10:30. I don't feel like going to bed. Let's go see whose door's open and see what they got.
Nice. So if the door is closed, it's closed is what you mean.
For the most part, it's kind of one of those, if they're, still selling, the doors will be open for you, ready to go.
Oh man, it sounds like I'll be open 24 hours. I would leave the door open. Why not?
It's definitely hard to.
Yeah, you have to make yourself sleep. If not, before you know it, it's 4 a.m. You got to be back outside at 7. It's one of those where you have to force yourself to sleep. So.
Okay. Well, I know at Dixie, talking about Dixie in Sevierville, Tennessee, is when I said this the first year that Twintiquin Antiques actually set up there. And I got there at, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then people were inside my truck before I even opened the doors with flashlights. It was epic.
Yep.
Yeah, that was intense.
Springfield was crazy. Springfield is like back in the good old days. We pulled in. There's literally like 3 people standing on the tongue of my trailer while I'm driving through the parking lot, buying out of the back of the trailer, out of the back of the truck. You unlock your trailer, and without exaggerating, there's probably 25 to 30 people just standing at the back of the trailer buying. We're handing stuff to the customers, unloading the trailer, and 30 people are taking the stuff straight out of your hands and buying stuff. So it's really it's kind of a rush, actually.
That's awesome. Yeah, talking about Dixie is, if you had never been to Dixie before, please go try it out. It's unbelievable what the people that you meet out there. I've been in the antique world for a while now, and it's been at least 7, 8, something like that years. But what I've noticed is the people that you've talked to for those 8 years is you meet those kind of people at the show, and it's unbelievable the people you meet, the relationships you come about, and it's awesome. It's definitely an experience.
I think, believe it, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago that we met at Dixie? That was the first time we kind of met face to face. So
face to face, and we've been dealing.
Yeah,
before then, we met like 2 years earlier. It was nuts.
Yep.
So
It is a blast.
okay, I thought we lost Matt. I was about to call out Matt.
No, I'm still here. My phone keeps saying, "Do you want to join the video chat?" I'm like, "No, I'm right here."
Do
I
it.
thought I lost you, but I'm
Let me see that
here.
face.
I'm alive.
Right. He must be having a bad beard day.
I am.
Fortunately, nobody on the radio can see our faces right now.
Right. True. I would say
Exactly.
your ratings would go way up if I was on camera. Just saying.
There you go.
I mean, they would skyrocket just for my beauty.
That's awesome. So what we're doing here on Twintiquin Antique Roadshow, once again, this is the Twintiquin Antique Roadshow on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com. We have the pleasure with Ryan Phillips and Matt Smith join us by the phone. So Twintiquin Antique Roadshow, we actually been on the road a couple times, and I want to bring up our YouTube channel. You can find us on YouTube on Nextdoor Radio. Just look us up, or you can type in Twintiquin, and we'll be right there. Our show is called Forgotten, Lost, and Found, Life Behind the Counter. So Ryan, tell a little bit about what are you excited about this the venture that all three of us we just ran with, and it's been a true honor just to be able to be by you guys' side. But what are you excited about this new adventure that we just started?
We just don't know what. To me, the most fun, the most exciting thing that we're looking forward to is just being on the road with a couple of my best friends. It doesn't matter what we find. It doesn't matter what we get into. To me, it's about enjoying and taking every day, one day at a time, enjoying life on the road with you guys. You coming out, filming it, and getting to share what we get to do for a living with the world. To me, that's invaluable. 2 of my best friends in the world on the road together, making money on the way. But, you tell your friends, your family that, hey, I buy and sell junk for a living. And they don't understand it. They don't understand we get to eat cool places. We get to stay in cool hotels, the collections we get into and the stuff we get to see, they don't really comprehend it. And now being able to watch the videos, people that have never been on the road before, I think they get a little better understanding that the work we have to put in, the hours, the miles and everything, all the work we do, it's not always easy. So for me personally, I've been doing it full time now for about 6 years, had my shop almost 9. To me though, it's the friendships that we have and everybody getting to actually watch a video and see what we get to do for a living is my excitement.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Man. That's awesome. Matt, your turn.
Man, I love it all. It's just being able to go out. And I mean, even like the last trip we did, I mean, we didn't have any knockout arenas to go, but we all just had a blast. And we were really able to kind of showcase that, we don't only buy one thing, right? If we go 3-4 stops and it's like, oh man, there ain't really nothing that I would normally buy. We improvise and we switch up and we completely buy differently and can make it in any arena of the buying and selling antique community. I mean, there's pockets of this business everywhere. You know, there's architectural, there's furniture, there's signage, there's advertising, there's paper, there's, you know, the ephemera. The ephemera stuff's crazy in its own right. That there's, you know, paper that you find from, you know, the 1800s is still intact. And just the kind of the thrill of the hunt is what excites me, of walking into a place and you're like, what's going to be today? You know, even if it's just an antique store or an antique mall, just being able to kind of go through and be like, man, what are we going to find today? What are we going to get into? Because it's one of those things we could literally walk up into a pick. We walk in a place and boom, our life changes right there from what's in that building.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, if this business is, you can be down to $10 and the next day you got 10 grand. That's just, you know, it's just crazy how this business is, you know, it takes, I always say, if you ever get down, you know, you have a big expense come up that you didn't expect, whatever, all it takes is one deal and you're back in it. One deal, you're back in the game. One deal, you're back rocking and rolling. And then that's the excitement. And then obviously being able to do it with, you know, normally it's just me when I'm out going. So it's, you know, I do a lot of talking to myself, which gets a little questionable sometimes. But being able to have two really good friends out on the road to, you know, I walk up to something. I mean, Drake, me and Ryan did this several times. Our last trip is I walk up to something and I'm like, oh, bro, what do you think? And you give your 2 cents. Ryan gives his 2 cents. I have my 2 cents, that we can kind of collaborate on, you know, yes, no, maybe so type situation. That it's just the brotherhood is what matters. And I mean, it's pure happiness it was pure joy for those whole 2-3 days of telling jokes, you know, hanging out, eating good, you know, just having a good time. And where else can you do that?
Bro,
I mean, there's not very many avenues in life that you can say that you feed your family and you have a blast every day doing it.
That's a huge statement.
So, I mean, that to me is the money comes and goes. The peace of mind and the happiness never goes anywhere.
That's awesome. Talking about, so we just got back from Bloomington, Illinois, your home state, Matt, and it was an amazing time. We had the friendship and the family that we made, that I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, but the relationship that all three of us made. Yes, we've been friends for a very long time, but what we've noticed so far is just on these past 2 events that we've done is just the friendship has grown stronger and stronger and stronger. And if I can, and I've always feel bad, this is just my personal thing, is I've always feel bad because I always ask questions along the way. But what I've noticed so far is, if you're thinking about getting into this business or even just a hobby, don't be afraid to ask those questions, because there's always somebody there that's going to help you along the way. Because I promise you, I've asked hundreds and hundreds of questions over the past few weeks.
Absolutely. I mean, heck, I ask questions every day. I mean, I've got, you know, you guys and Andy Miller, guys that I talk to on a daily basis of, you know, not even just business, just life questions. You know, I'll call and talk with Brian and be like, hey, man, so what do you think about this, and this? And it's vice versa across the board. That what I always go down to, and me and Ryan had a long conversation about this not so long ago, is if we would not have started this journey, right, I wouldn't know who Drake Snide is. I wouldn't know who Ryan Phillips is. You guys wouldn't know who Matt Smith is. And we probably never would have crossed paths, ever. And because, you know, we were steered in this direction, we met friends that we're going to have the rest of our lives along the road of making a living or making extra money or funding a vacation for your family that's the thing, is this business can be as big or small as you want it to be. You know, it's not a you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way. You could do it to make an extra $25, you know, to you know, sell something to feed, you know, so you and your kids can go out to eat one day a week. You know, I mean, it can be just little or huge, and you meet great people along the way, and it's just, it's a joy. There's nothing else really about it.
Hi,
Miss Phillips. What's going on? Hey, you're on the radio. You're on the radio live, by the way.
That scared me.
No cussing, live on the radio. No, I agree totally with Matt. And people, once you get it full time, you have a little different outlook on everything. But the guys, probably half or 3/4 of this business do it part time and get their feet wet and then get addicted to it. So those guys, they're not fighting for a paycheck. They're not fighting for rent, for utility bills. They're making extra money, like you say, to pay for the kids' sporting events or the family vacation. So, their outlook's a little different than some of us that is your rent. That is your car payment, your house payment. And so we hustle a little harder. Or we look at things a little differently. And, I talked to Drake just a little bit ago, and Matt and I have talked a lot about it, but your stuff, nothing in this business is a given. You don't buy everything, go, wow, I can buy this for $500 and sell it for $1,000 tonight. Your biggest hits are when you take a gamble. Hey, somebody wants $200 for this collection. What is it? What can I get? Who's my buyer? And that adventure is where most of the time you make your best purchases and your best investments is just a shot in the dark. We blow $200 on a lot of really dumb stuff. So why not take an adventure and take a chance of, hey, this might be a huge collection, and you take a chance and it doesn't sell, but then you dump it. You get what you can out of it. You move on to the next purchase. And Drake and I just talked about this a little bit ago. And that's something that a lot of people have issues with. When you go to shows and the same person has the same sign year after year after year, that's dead money. And people won't take a hit. I bought this for $500. I have to make money. Well, you took a chance and it didn't pay off. If you can get $300 out of it, you move on to your next venture.
Yeah, it's funny you brought it up on air. Is me and Brittany had this conversation a couple of days ago. Is there's dead inventory. We've had it in inventory for a year now. Why not sell it for something and get out of it? Go buy that next piece, and that could be your big thing. I mean, that's the kind of mindset that I have to get into as well. Buying and selling. So it's just one of those things where sometimes you have to take a chance. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But the fun part is the relationships and what we remember over these trips, and that's what I'm really excited about. I love money. I enjoy money. Yes, we all do. But the biggest thing that I've learned so far in these last two trips on Twintiquin Antique Roadshow on YouTube is filming all this, the history behind these shops, why they got into the business, why did they decide to open a shop? Because you got to remember, COVID hit us last year. There's shops that closed. There's shops that closed down because of this COVID stuff. So it's the ones that are fighting along the way and that are staying open it's exciting. And that's what we do on Twintiquin Antique Roadshow on YouTube. And we film this whole thing is getting the shop's name out there, getting forgotten, lost, and found, and the life behind the counter, and just get them going. I know, Ryan, you closed during the COVID on your shop. So do you plan on opening anytime soon on your end?
Hopefully next month. I guess June 2nd, Ohio is lifting their masks and their regulations, restrictions, and everything. So hopefully middle of June, middle to end of June, we're going to be reopening. We've done a lot of work in the shop. We put all new lighting in. We had some good friends come in, 6 or 8 of them come up for a weekend, kind of remodeled the entire shop.
Nice.
We're starting to go to the warehouse now. My shop is an old Ford dealership, so it's like a block deep, and we've got pretty crazy inventory, and we actually have a second warehouse. So shifting inventory and everything, being closed over a year has given us a chance to actually redo the shop and give it a different and a new look. So we're kind of excited. We're excited to get to see our friends and customers a little more regular. So hopefully sooner than later.
Nice. Now, Matt, you basically sell, I know this answer, but the people listening, our listeners, they don't know. You don't have a store, but you sell out of your backyard. What's the difference between that and owning an antique store for people that want to do this full time?
With me, mine is all location. In the town I live in, we have 2 universities. It's not a huge town, 120,000 people. It's not like a huge city. But it's a good-sized town. We've got State Farm Insurance, and we've got 2 universities. So commercial real estate here is just insane. It's very, very expensive. And as much as I would, that was originally my thought when I found out I was losing my job and I went into this full time is, all right, we'll do this online stuff. Boom, I'll open a little 1,200 square foot store, red beard relics, have a nice little neon sign in the middle, look awesome. And I started looking at real estate and I'm like, that ain't going to happen. And it's just, with me, it's overhead. I've done it. I bought this house about almost 2 years ago in August, and my garage out back has worked phenomenal. You can always use more space, obviously, but it's worked great. And mine is just my peace of mind is knowing that my kids are never going to go hungry because of the situation I put us in financially. You know what I mean? Like, we don't, when you get more bills involved and stuff like that, then things get stressful. And I build my life 100% without stress. And, that's what I fight for every day. And I absolutely love, I have guys come over weekly, even if they don't come to buy anything. It's basically like having a storefront. They come over, they bring their coffee, and we just sit here and just talk about dumb stuff for, I'll sit there and look and be like, dude, you guys have been here for 3 hours. I got to get going. But it's one of those, it's a place that, it's a safe place for everybody to come and hang out and look at cool junk and look at signs and talk about, oh yeah, back in, 1980, I was a trash man, and man, I found one of those laying on the curb, and just hearing all the old stories from some of the older guys that come by. It's just a great thing for me. And it also helps that, I can run my business 5 foot from my kids. And it just works phenomenal for my life situation. But I always dreamed of having a storefront with the nice red beard relics neon in front of it. So, I'm not putting it away completely, but who knows? Who knows what the future could bring?
Yeah, it's funny.
Now, Matt, you got to teach your own horn a little bit. Like, we've got to give you a little bit of a shout out for all the time and money and everything you spend with the kids, the basketball teams, the practices that, you never take credit for nothing. So while you're here, while you're live, we got to give you a little bit of credit for all the time and everything that you put into these kids, man.
We love it, man. Those kids are what keep me going. They bring me the most joy in this world that I can't even express in words. And they keep me, they drive me nuts. That's why I'm bald. But I love them to death, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And that stuff has shaped me into the human being I am that, I pride myself in. I pride myself of being, a good person. We need more love in this world. And that's what I try to share at every ounce of my being is, provide as much love and support for everybody. And that's just, that's what lets me sleep well at night.
That's awesome. That's got chills, bro. So I want to do this for you though. So you have something going on Facebook right now, GoFundMe page. I want to give a shout out on live radio. What is this GoFundMe page? Tell the listeners a little bit about that.
So I basically did a Facebook fundraiser. I coach summer basketball, and I've done it for 4 years. I've done it for 2 years under my own group. I started a travel basketball team, and I basically started it because a lot of these parents are, to get in a decent travel basketball organization around here, it's about $800 a kid for the summer. There's a lot of people that can't afford to drop $800. I was in the scenario when I was a kid, my parents didn't have the kind of money to where I could play travel basketball. Like I had to be like fill-ins on teams when they needed extras because I couldn't afford, my parents couldn't afford to pay, $600 for me to play basketball in the summer. And it's one of those, it's kind of been my passion project since I started coaching of eventually I want to get to the point where I can offer it to 24 kids a year for free. So last year and the year before, I just had my one junior high team that my daughter's on. And last year I was able to raise a little bit, and then I covered the rest of the cost to where parents didn't have to pay a dime. The only thing they had to cover was their hotel stays for the tournaments that we stayed over. Unfortunately, this year, just with COVID and business fluctuations, I just don't have the capital to cover it. So I started a Facebook fundraiser just to help out with the tournament costs. And I used to use one of the junior highs for practice facility. Since COVID, they're not renting their practice facilities out to organizations. It's got to be within the unit or within the school district to use the gyms. So like the gym we use, which is the cheapest in town, is $55 an hour for practice. Well, you add that up times 6-7 practices a week times an hour, or not 6-7 practices a week, but 6-7 hours a week for 2-3 practices a week times 2 teams. That cost adds up really, really, really fast. So it's one of those that, the costs add up, and I want to avoid having parents have to, take a second glance if their kids can play basketball because of the cost. Everything in this world nowadays is outrageously expensive. So anything I can do to lighten that burden, I want to attempt to do, because hold on, my parents are here and they're going to start talking all loud.
Pops.
So basically, it's just it's just something that I don't necessarily have to, but it's one of those things that I want to do, and I try to accomplish everything that I want to accomplish. So
you're saying if the kids, if like all adult kids play on your basketball team, you are paying for their kids to play. Yeah. you can toot your own horn for a minute, Matt. Like we need more people like you in this world.
Well, like I said, it's just one of those things that I don't ever want. Sports are big for a lot of kids. Not necessarily, they're going to go pro, they're going to go to college. Sports are a big getaway for a lot of kids.
Absolutely.
And to be able to offer it and not ever have money come in the way is what I want to do. So, it's just one of those things that I'm trying. Like I said, it's just, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. So, I think we raised 400-ish on the fundraiser, something of that nature, that we put forward, which that'll cover almost a full week of practice, and then I'll cover our first tournament. So, anything obviously goes a long way. A whole week of practice and a tournament, that's a big deal. That's a whole week of practice is about $200-300 for both teams. And then the first tournament was $250. So it's one of those things that's just, stuff's not cheap. These other businesses have to pay light bills, and, like the gyms here in Illinois, obviously, which pretty much everywhere, COVID shut them down too, that their bills didn't stop. So it's like they've got to kind of get things back going. And so, I understand that. It's just one of those things that, life is life. But anything we can do to help ease people's burdens, I try to do. I try to do as much as I can.
Well, let's do this for all the listeners out there. Once again, this is Drake Snide with Twintiquin Antiques Roadshow on here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com. Look up Matt Smith on Facebook. I'll have the link on it in my Twintiquin Antiques Facebook page. If you're a business and out there you sponsor any amount, you have a chance to win a free advertisement for a month here on the radio station. I'll help that out. I've donated as well. So any business out there, you have a chance to win a free month of advertising here on the radio show. I would love to any kind of amount. Go do it. You have a chance to win a free month here on the Twintiquin Antiques Roadshow. Be happy to do it.
I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
It means the world to me. Them kids are all like my own kids. So.
Well, cool, guys. That's
Mr. Redbeard.
Tara.
Be
Miss Tara.
quiet.
Miss Phillips. Miss Phillips.
That's amazing.
You're live.
Well, and this is what it's about. It's one of those.
I'm not the only one over here crying, damn it.
And this is, like I said, this is one of those things that, once again, through the sign business, through the antique world, I was able to meet people that fundraiser, the one I did last year, the one I did this year, would not have reached 80% of the people that donated this year and last year. I wouldn't have reached them if I wasn't in this business.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I mean, I would have never added, Tim Kopp. I would have never added Jesse Mason. I would have never added Audrey Hamilton because I wouldn't have known who they were. Yeah, I wouldn't have searched somebody that lives in Rhode Island. I wouldn't have searched somebody that lives in Maine. I just
you should want to come to Ohio. I mean, who wants to come to Ohio?
Exactly. I mean, God, no, I'm just playing. But, it's just one of those things that, once again, it's all life comes full circle, man, and everything happens for a reason. And down to me losing my job that turned into this, which then turned into signs, which then turned into meeting this person, this person, which then turned into boom. That covers a week worth of practice in 2021 from 2018 relationship. So that's the thing about this business is you get to build relationships that you don't get to build in other avenues. It's more avenues to meet thousands and thousands of people that you never would have came across at any point in your life, other than the fact that, I'm going to start selling rusty signs to people that like to hang them on the wall. Like, who would have thunk that?
Yeah.
And
let's be real. Like, who would have been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna feed my family and pay all my bills, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sell toys, sports cards, paper stuff, and advertising signs. Like, what?
Yeah. How would you like to go back to high school and sit down with your guidance counselor 20 years ago, in my case, 25 years ago, and be like, hey, you know what I want to do? We could have played ball in college. We could have on and on and on. No, I want to buy and sell dead people stuff for a living. Right,
exactly. I want to buy and sell old metal signs of soda advertisements.
And that's how I'm going to provide for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably would have been told to kick rocks and get the heck out of the office back then.
I remember not this school year, but last school year before COVID hit. During my daughter's basketball season, we had to cover the concessions booth. So I'm covering the booth with the district office, whatever the top person in the district office of the school is. So he's asking me all these questions. Oh, so what do you do? And I'm telling him, and he said, so let me get this right. You go and you buy stuff, like just random stuff, antiques, signs, whatever. And he said, you take it home, you get on Facebook and you sell it. And he said, so like, but you have to do something else. And I said, no. And I wish I would have videoed it because the look on his face, like, could have been a meme. Like, it was hilarious because it's somebody that's never thought about that buying and selling flipping strategy I'm sure there's tons of people that are going to listen to this that don't have any interest on doing this for a living, but could use an extra $1,000 a year for that Walt Disney vacation.
Yep.
Or
absolutely.
they could use an extra $300 a month to cover a car payment. And it's like I said, it's one of those things that once you start, it's like, oh geez. And you're like jonesing to go out and buy some junk. And it's just fun. I mean, there's no really other way to put it.
I don't even know what to say after that.
right.
Emotional heck over here.
You can just be like, shut up, Redbeard. You talk too much.
No, but you learn from these guys. You learn from. There's many people in this business I look up to. You brought up Andy Miller. Andy's one of them that Matt and I talk almost daily and everything. And, Andy's somebody we both look up to and have a world of respect for. Tim Cobb, Kemp Getz, we can go on and 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 on. Jernigan's with Porcelain Sign Trader. Tim has Picking America, American Pickers 24/7.
You got Jesse.
So many early bird with Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many pages on Facebook and even the jewelry pages that AJ have out in Kansas. And there's so many pages and so many people that you look up to in this business. And, Drake, you said about asking questions and, you can pick up your phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And literally, there's hundreds of people out there that will help you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Talking
and
about
for
that.
every,
talking about that.
for every 1,000 people willing to help, there's one or two. Every business you run into a jerk here and there, but 99.99% of the people in this business are great, great, great people and are willing to help and in any way they can. So, like the people that want to get in this business, don't hesitate to reach out. Don't hesitate to ask for help because there are people that will take you or cheat you or not be honest. So, find the people you trust, find the people that you can confide in and I don't want to say use them, but use their knowledge and reach out and ask a question because like to many of us, the only stupid question is the one you don't ask.
Absolutely.
And, unless I'm in bed asleep, usually if I get a message, shortly I can answer and I'm happy to answer it. And Matt's the same way. I know Drake's always willing to help anytime he can. And, you just always find that person that, you don't need to message 7 days a week, 6 times a day. But if you run into something and you're out there and you just have no clue, make those friendships and reach out to people because there's so much knowledge in this business and people that are willing to help.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people get into the business and are afraid to ask or feel like they're a bother. And that's not the case at all. I mean, that's the only way our business will continue to grow and prosper.
Yeah, talking about that today, I went on a pick this morning, and there was a Coca-Cola button. It was like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it was embedded inside this old case. I'm like, oh my God, it looks real as heck. But then I sent it to one of my buddies, Jason Curry, shout out to him, is he literally told me, he's like, well, Drake, if you turn it over, if you look at this, this, and this, I don't think it's real because of this. I was like, bro, you just saved me $200. You know what I mean? Yep. And then but I feel bad always asking these kind of questions because that's all I text. But at the end I was like, yo, I really appreciate it because you just saved me $200. You know what I mean?
100%.
So crazy. And I text you all the time about questions. I ain't gonna lie to you. Every day.
And we love every second of it.
Exactly. Yep. That's when you can tell you're with your friends is when, and Drake and Matt and so many other people in this business, like I get excited for my friends. It's not a jealousy. It's not an envy. I get a call from Drake. I get a call from Matt and like, dude, you should see this place. I just went on this pick. I just bought this. And my heart starts pumping. My heart starts racing and I'm excited for my friends. When we were on the road out there together, we've been on the road a couple of times now. Matt and I have been on the road many times together. Drake's come up, filmed a couple of times, and it's not competition. And that's when you're with your people is when you're
like competition.
Yeah.
Like we fight over, no, you buy it. No, I want you to make money.
Exactly. You're like, dude, this is more you.
Yeah, we had a pick in Illinois, and me and Matt looked at the same sign, and all of a sudden he walked me to the car and was like, yo, all right, so if you want this, I know you asked about it first. No, bro, take it. Take it off my hands. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Yeah. And we did that for 4 days of, yeah, dude, you can make $50 on this. You buy it. No, you saw it. You buy it. Hey, Drake, buy it. Like we literally are like fighting the other person to buy it and who's going to make $50 on something.
Exactly. And that's what I love here. That's what I love about doing the Twintiquin Antique Roadshow when I'm filming all this stuff and we're throwing it on YouTube. And we have a new video coming from Illinois here in the next day or two. So look out, go to YouTube on youtube.com and type in Twintiquin and you can find us on there. But Forgotten, Lost, and Found. Shout out to Tara for that name. That was awesome. So yeah, so if you have not subscribed or liked our page, please go do. Show us support. We're gonna be on the road again on June 15th and the 16th. I think we'll decide to go back to Ohio and we're gonna do it all over again.
We can't wait.
Absolutely.
There you go.
So look out, Ohio. We're on the way.
Right.
We'll start rolling up change now.
There you go. Craig, we're coming. Big Daddy Antique up there. You got Pocket Change up there. Both amazing shops. They were on our first video, so definitely go check us. If you have not seen our old video from Ohio, please go check that out. But guys, I think we're out of time. I really, really appreciate your time today. Thanks so much for joining our show. So we really appreciate your time, guys.
Absolutely. We appreciate you having us.
Absolutely.
Yep, we appreciate everything you do, and we look forward to life on the road together again soon. It's a couple weeks away, so
let's get it. All right,
all
gentlemen.
right. Appreciate you. Yep, you too.
All right, bye. Once again, guys, this is Drake Snide with Twintiquin Antiques Roadshow right here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoor.com. That was a true pleasure to have Ryan Phillips with New Generation Antiques and also Matt Smith with Red Bear Relics join us on Facebook Messenger. And so, guys, we really appreciate your time. Like I said before, if you have not seen our YouTube channel, go to Nextdoor Radio on YouTube, type in Twintiquin if you can, and go like and subscribe. We really appreciate your time. Everything counts. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And remember, you be the difference while somebody smiles today. Have a great day, guys.